So, hi everyone. Here we go again with Starfish Academy Facebook live show Moneylogy. Greetings everyone who watches live and also those who watch us in recordings. Hi, hello.
Hi, Julius. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, so every time, each Tuesday, the same time, we have a Moneylogy show where we discuss topics related to personal finances, investing, entrepreneurship, and all of the things which can help you to become financially free. So here we share our own experience and answer your questions, and each time we take a topic which can be helpful for you. So today's topic we would like to discuss with Paolo and share our thoughts with those who watch our show is retirement, pensions, and also financial security. So usually people are waiting for government to take care of them, and the pension is probably one of the things they expect to get from the government when they retire from their job. So Valo, what are your thoughts about this possibility to take care from the government when you are retired?
Yeah, well, it's a one way which a lot of people are using it. We can discuss today if it's the smartest way. Probably not, but basically the retirement plan that was set up years ago globally was basically a way to say that the employers cannot take care of the healthcare of their employees anymore. So they created the retirement plan, and basically what it means is that employers are making contributions on behalf of the employees and basically investing their money so they could have retirement when they leave the job. And of course it means that they are putting money to different funds, and the returns are maybe not the highest. And it also means that if somebody has some basic investing skills, then probably you can beat the returns that you can get from the retirement plans.
Yeah, and funny.
So what's your
Funny is also to understand that basically the retirement system which we have now in majority of countries has been created in the times when there were much less old people than young people, and it means that a lot of young people was supporting the old people because we were taxpayers. So basically the tax we pay for the government was those money who government was using to pay the pensions funds. When they saw that the old people, the amount of old people are getting more and more higher comparing to the young people who work, they decided basically to create a bit different systems and encourage people to invest their money to different mutual funds and all these things. But because of lack of financial literacy, what I see that majority of these people who do so, they even don't understand that basically they're investing. Quite often in our seminars, I ask people to raise hands. Do you invest in stocks? And there are like only few hands raising. But when I ask how many of you have pension funds, and then basically half of the room raises the hand, and I said, so don't you understand that you are the investors who do the same things in paper assets, but even you don't know that you do so? And I believe this is the most dangerous part of investments. And investors also, because they are unconscious investors. They even don't know that they are investors, but they are.
Yeah, somebody's investing basically on their behalf, and they don't even know if it's a good investment or not. So
and how they can win the game, which they even don't know that they play. So it's not possible.
Exactly. So we are not probably in a position to say if it's good or bad. What we are saying is that if you have zero financial intelligence, then probably it's better than nothing. But if you have already some skills and you know how to get maybe higher return than you get with the pension funds, then probably you could beat that return any day. And also there is in most of the countries there is this volunteer component of the pension plans. So yes, it's the required part and it's the volunteer part. And even this volunteer part, you're kind of telling them that it's actually a good investment. So I'm putting even more money into this. So because I think you can invest better than I can. So that's why we support financial education, because we believe you can get better returns doing yourself.
Exactly. And you touched also one important point. So when basically it's already the time to invest in more riskier assets classes or in instruments. So before doing so, probably people need to think about financial security level, which they need to reach first and only when they can invest to more other different instruments like maybe stocks or real estate or other classes, because the financial security level helps them first of all to have the money if something happens with their income, if something happens with themselves while they're creating this wealth. And before having this, it's too risky to invest right away to different asset classes. So what's your thought about it? What should be in this financial security level, and how people could create it?
I think the key to have this, financial security feeling is that you have at least some savings, and that's the challenge, because a lot of people don't have any habits of creating savings for themselves. So we would say that the level lower financial security is a financial survival, when basically you're living from paycheck to paycheck and you have zero savings, and you feel economically very unsure and uncertain.
Exactly.
And once you start acquiring some savings for yourself, and you have at least up to 3 months of savings, then people start to feel already secure that if something, the worst happens, or some unexpected expenses will show up, then at least I can manage it. And that's probably the first key level that everybody should be, because if you're not secure, then you will never even start investing.
Yeah, so this means that basically you need to have a certain amount of money which would cover at least 3 to 6 months of your living expenses, and only then you can basically think about second, third, and further steps towards investing in more different asset classes. The question is where to put this money. Do you think that they still need to hold this like a 3 to 6 month money amount just in cash, or it still should be invested somewhere? What's your thoughts about it?
Well, I think that the first thing I would invest it is to my own financial education, because nobody has taught us investing in school.
Yep.
So we have to learn this by ourselves. And if I'm starting up and I have this free capital and I have an idea I want to start investing, then the first question is, okay, where do I invest? And if I have zero knowledge, I can make very bad investment decisions where I can lose the money. So I would firstly put it to my own education, and once I understand it already, what are the options where I could invest, whether it's paper or it's businesses or real estate, then I can decide, okay, what is the path I'm going, and then make with the first baby steps and baby investments there.
Perfect.
So what's your opinion?
Yeah, I totally agree with this, and this probably means that anyway, retirement pensions from the government are really not enough to be financially secure, and to expect getting somewhere from there probably is also not the best choice, and you need to think about some additional steps, and then thinking about accumulating first this security pillow is the first step. But while you're doing so, definitely you need to invest your financial intelligence in order to have bigger choices, what to do next. So where to invest your money after that, when you already have this financial pillow. And if you do it right away from the beginning, while you're even creating the financial pillow, which you probably maybe don't have in the beginning, it will already allow you to have understanding what to do next after you created it. So it can take you, let's say, maybe half a year, maybe 1 year to accumulate this financial reserve if you don't have it. But if you also spend the time and part of your money in the same year learning about different financial investing opportunities and expanding the general financial intelligence, then after the year you will have already two things. You will have reserve, and you will be ready to do the next steps towards other investments.
Yeah, and I think also is that the reason why you want to have the security level is that you want to get rid of this financial stress. Because if you're worrying all the time, can I make the next month's payments, then it's not a good position to be. So if you get rid of this one and you have enough savings which would cover your unexpected situations, and you have some savings to start investing, then you start to see a different world. And this is the first step that everybody should be to start the path to financial freedom.
And moreover, you can't invest the last money you have to more risky investments, because there is always the risk that you can lose the money, And if it's your last money, you don't have this reserve, and something happens with the investments, and even worse, if something happens with you, when you are in the terrible situation. That's why this reserve is really required. Okay, so basically the next part of our show is Starfish Academy vocabulary, where we want always to pay attention to specific words from money language. And today the word we want to show you is financial leverage. So what does it mean, financial leverage? It's uses of different financial instruments and borrowed capital to increase return on investment. But you can do so only after you have this financial security level. Because if you don't have, borrowing money and using it as a leverage can be also quite risky, because you can over borrow, let's say, the money, and if something happens with your income, or if something happens with your investment, you will be in quite a difficult situation, because you won't be able to pay back the money. That's why it's already the next step you need to think about, to learn how to use, but only after you took care about your financial security. Would you think the same way, or what are your thoughts about this fellow?
Yeah, I'm also thinking that, why the financial security is really the key level, is that, it's almost, impossible to even loan the money there with a good interest rate, because the bank thinks you're too risky. And if you have already some savings and you have a good income, then at least there is a chance to start the leveraging of the money, which means you can use the loan to make you more rich. But I think in general, leverage is something you also have to be really careful about, and it really needs this financial intelligence, because if you use it in the right direction, it can really help you, and if you use it the wrong way, it can kill you. So it's almost like I like this. When somebody explained it, that leverage is basically like a gun. You can protect yourself, or you can shoot somebody,
or you can shoot yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, you can shoot yourself, exactly. So it's really dangerous. So you have to know how to use leverage, and that's why you need financial intelligence to do that.
Yeah. So this temptation in using leverage probably is because people see that they can get more profit when they use leverage, but quite often they don't think about this other part, which you mentioned already, that it's also makes the risk higher. So if we don't have proper knowledge how to manage the risk, then basically it can become the gun with which can shoot themselves.
Yeah, and if you think about it, okay, let's use this example that loan is the gun, the loan is the leverage. So I can use the loan to increase my liabilities, buy a new car, or buy some new TV and stuff like that, which will actually put me in a worse financial situation, or I can use it to buying assets, which will put me in a better situation. So it really becomes the financial intelligence. How am I using the leverage? And if you're doing it for using or buying assets, it can be a really good thing, because you can use somebody else's money to make yourself rich.
Exactly. And talking about the debts, we will be covering these topics in our further shows. What is the difference between bad debt and good debt? Also, how to get rid of bad debts. It can be in our further shows, but also I want to remind our audience that if you want us to discuss some specific topics which are interesting for you, just comment below the video what would be the topics you want us to discuss, let's say next week or next month, and we will be more than happy to include these topics in our show. As well, if you have some questions which you want to get answers from us right away in the live show, you can also put it in the comments, and we will be more than happy to answer it right away here for you. So asking questions have three different advantages. First of all, you will get answer for a question which is important for you. Second, you will help somebody else to hear the answer, because maybe he didn't thought about a question, or he was too shy to ask a question. And third, if you are pretty active in our shows, we will be also willing to award you with some prizes. So there are also a chance to win some valuable gifts for you. So just participate, just ask questions, and we will try to answer all of them. You can do it each time when the show is live, or you can write the questions also after the recorded show, and then we will cover these questions in the next show. So those who watch now, if you have some questions, you can still have some time to write it in the comments. and we will be more than happy to answer them. So let's have a few minutes, maybe some questions will appear, and if no, then I want to announce our next show, which will be which day? The same day next week, Tuesday, the same time. Each time you can watch a recording. Also, if you want, on our YouTube channel, also in Instagram TV, and also on our Starfish Academy Facebook profile. So if you missed some show, you can always find them there. If you want to get a reminder for upcoming shows, then it is easy. Just follow us on Facebook, just follow us on Instagram, and you will get a reminder about each upcoming show, and we'll be able to watch it live.
And I think here is what we're going to do over the next weeks also is that we're going to share the journey to financial freedom, because it actually has certain steps. And what we're going to do is that we're going to share, our journey. It's not a theory. It's something we have done. It's like practical steps. And we have basically laid down the map for you as well, how to get to financial freedom. It's just a process, takes maybe some time. But I think everybody can do it. And if you follow the shows and you get the financial vocabulary and get the thoughts and put it in practice, then everybody can do it.
Exactly. And you already even mentioned some of these steps today in the show, because the very, very beginning starts with financial survival. Probably not everyone starts here, because maybe they are already a bit in the journey, but the next level is financial security. And what are the next steps, we will cover further in our shows later. So this is all we wanted to discuss today with you, and like we said, next week, same time, same day, we will be waiting for you to watch our next live show. And if you have any questions and suggestions for the topics, feel free to write in the comments below the show, and we will plan it and include in our further shows as well. So thank you, Valo, for being here with me, and wish a good remaining part of the week for our audience as well.
Thank you. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye-bye.